Hello everybody, happy Friday. So I am Holly. Okay. So hi, happy Friday. I'm Holly with Handcrafted Blessings and I'm trying to make sure everything's working. I just had a poor signal notice pop up on my screen, so we're just gonna make sure everything is set up to go here. So yeah, happy Friday. Hi, Sean. So welcome to you guys as you're coming in here for a Funfold Friday. Whether you're here live or watching later on the replay, I'm glad you're here. So we are gonna make our Funfold for today. So I'll be featuring the, Zany Zoo set in the Zoo Crew Designer Series paper, and yeah, we'll make a card from that. So let me just give me just 1 second here. I think my husband's about to call me, so I am sending him a quick text on my watch so he doesn't call me. There we go. Okay. Josh is asking me questions and I'm like, oh no, if I don't answer, he's going to call me. And then that's going to interrupt our live. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you the card before I put it down, just because I think holding in the air will make it a little bit easier for me to show you, and then I'll show you again once I put the camera down. So this is the card that we're making today. So there we go. Let's see. So I'm going to show it to you from, there we go, this side. And then again from this side. There we go. Something like that. It's so hard to do backwards. Okay, so let me just put this down. And then I'll show it to you again from this angle. Okay, so we've got our card here. And it sits up here, just like that. And then you can see here, I've got the different folds down there at the bottom. Now this is actually super easy to make. It's just 2 pieces of cardstock that we're going to score and put together. So not too bad at all. All right. So let's take a piece of lemon lolly, and we're gonna also use a piece of Pool Party. And then we're going to have some of the Zoo Crew Designer Series paper here. Okay? So first I'll start with my lemon lolly, because this is going to be my card base. And the first cut that we're going to make is we need a piece that is 3 by 11. 3 by 11. There we go. Okay, so 3 by 11, and then our other piece is going to be 4 1/4 by 9, 4 1/4 by 9. So I'm going to slide this over here, and I'm going to do 4 1/4, and then I need it to be 9 inches, so I'm just going to cut off 2 inches here. So 4 1/4 by 9 is what I'm going for. Okay, so these are the 2 pieces that are going to form that Funfold. So first what we'll do is we'll take the larger piece, this was 3 by 11, and we are going to score it at 5 1/2. So there we go, just scoring it in half at 5 1/2. Okay, and on this one, we are going to do, this is 4 1/4 by 9 is what the measurement is. And we're going to score it at 1 1/4. There's 1 1/4. Slide it over to 2 1/2. And then 5 3/4. Okay, so that was 1 1/4, 2 1/2, and 5 3/4. Okay? And so then what we'll do is we'll take this. So we have 4 segments, which I know with this color can be a little hard for you to see my score lines, but you're going to have 2 large segments here and then 2 small ones here. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold down on that large segment. You can see here, we're just going to fold that down. And while you're holding that as a tent, you've got the longer space here. So now you're going to fold it up on itself. And then the last one will fold back down. So kind of accordion folding. And your end result is going to be the card that sits like this. Okay? So again, this piece is 4 1/4 by 9. We scored it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, and 5 3/4. So then I folded that large panel back on itself, and then I fold the bottom up and then down. Okay? So if you can kind of visualize, this is the step case, the staircase, if you will, that you need to have when you're done with those folds. Okay? Now, before we attach the other piece of lemon lolly, we're actually going to add some more stuff to this piece. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment, and we're going to grab our designer series paper, and I'm going to also go ahead and cut my pool party as well. So we'll start with our pool party, and this is going to need to measure 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. I just have a piece of scrap here, so I'm trying to see where I'm at here. Looks like it's already 5 1/4. So we'll do 2 3/4 here. So 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I've got some fuzzies. I keep forgetting to change the trimmer on my blade. So when you get those fuzzies, it can be kind of helpful to just take your scissors and you can just kind of go along the edge here and you'll get those fuzzies. You can get them off of your paper. And then trimmer blade. Okay. So we've got our pool party piece. I'm going to say it again because I think I froze for a second because a phone call came in. So this pool party is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And now I'm going to cut our designer series paper. So for my larger piece is going to be going on top of this one. So it's just 1/4 of an inch smaller. So it's going to be 2 1/2 by 5. So 2 1/2 by 5, and I'm just kind of scoping out the best way to do this here. Let's see, I think we're going to go 5 inches here. So 2 1/2 by 5. Okay. And then for my 2 smaller pieces, we're going to do one that is horizontal and one that's vertical. Okay? And I'm telling you that because I'm actually doing directional paper and I want to make sure that I cut this the direction that I want it to sit. So for my vertical piece of paper, I want it to be 1 inch wide, 3 inches long. Okay? 1 inch wide, 3 inches long. So I'm going to cut the 3 inches first. So I've got 3 long, and I've got my squiggles going in the direction that I want them to be. So now I can cut it 1 inch. Okay. So here is my 1 by 3 vertical piece. Now I want to do a horizontal, and I want it to be 1 inch tall and 2 inches wide. So 1 inch tall. This is going to be a little short, but it'll work. So 1 inch tall, 2 inches wide. Okay? All right. So let's take our panel here, And on the very front, we're going to take this 1x2 piece, and I'm just going to stick it right here. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to take my vertical piece that was 1x3, and I'm going to stick that just inside. So I've got my flap. I'm just going to fold down the flap and I'm going to stick it right here. But I'm also going to make sure that I'm relatively even with that other piece I just put. So you can see it's kind of a continuation here of my design. Okay? So then what we'll do is we will take our, what should I do next? Actually, you know, probably the next best step would be, you want to do some of these steps before you add the next piece of lemon lolly, because they're just a lot easier to adhere before you add that. So that's why we're doing all of these segments. So we're going to do the inside next. So I'm going to take, oh, you know what? I forgot to cut that one. So for my inside, I need a piece of white that is 3x4. So 3x4. There we go. Now I'm going to stamp this using Pool Party. We're making this into a birthday card. So I am going to do something great to celebrate you. We're going to stick that here. And then I'm also going to take the confetti stamp, and I am going to stamp confetti in each of my 4 corners. This is especially helpful if you don't have a lot to say, but you need to send a card, using your stamps to kind of help fill some of that white space. Now there's just not as much room left to write. And sometimes that's what we want. We just want to be able to send a quick card. Okay, so we'll take this piece and we'll put it inside of our card base. So I've got my card base here, and we're just going to go to the inside. And there we go. Okay? All right, now we are ready to add our 3x11 lemon lolly. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I am going to score it, or bone folder, crease that down. Okay, so we're going to be attaching this on the front and on the back. So let me show you an easy way to do that. We're going to start with the front, okay? So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to put a strip of tape here on my lemon lolly. I'm also going to come over here, and I'm going to put a strip of tape here on my front panel as well. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to line up this lemon lolly with the very bottom and the very edge of my card base. I don't have any tape on the back side yet, so I don't have to worry about it sticking down. There we go. So now that front is all lined up, and it's not attached anywhere else, okay? Now we're going to turn the whole card over, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a piece of tape right here, and then I'm also going to add some down here at the bottom, okay? Now once again, I am lining up my long strip here, this strip, with the bottom and the edge of my card base. So just like that. Okay? And so now we have our fun fold. So we'll take our Pool Party and our Designer Series paper, and we'll put those two together. And then we'll put that entire thing on our card front. And it fits right here on this long panel. There we go. now I'm going to set this aside for a moment. And we're going to take, I've got a scrap of lemon lolly, and I also have a piece of the Zoo Crew Designer Series paper. I want this raccoon with the balloons for the front of my card. So I'm going to grab my mini Stamp and Emboss machine. We're going to stick those raccoons on here. And we've got a die for this. So we're just going to line up that die. There we go. Put that straight down, making sure that my die didn't move. Just kind of keeping an eye on that die till it gets hooked into the machine. So I'll set that aside for a second. We'll look at it in a minute. And then I'll take my scrap of lemon lolly and the flag die that's in the same set of Zany Zoo dies. So I love the fact that the Zany Zoo dies coordinate with the Zoo Crew paper. That you can cut out so many different animals using these dies. It's so fun. Okay, so we've got our flag and we've got our raccoon. Isn't he so cute? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I've got my two pieces here. So now I can take my ink once again and we'll do the happy birthday to you. And I'll put that on here. And then I'm also going to take the confetti and I'll bring back this piece of paper here because I might stamp off a little bit. Off the piece of paper, I mean. And there we go. Add a little bit of confetti to the top of that one. And then we can take both of those with some dimensionals. And let me grab another sheet of dimensionals here. Okay. And I really want to make sure that I don't want this guy to dip at all. Like, if I were to attach it right now, as this is going through the postal system, this middle section is probably going to end up kind of dipped down in. So I'm going to add a little bit more dimensional here. We'll just cut a couple of these edge pieces. And then that way I can stick one here on the tail and I can also put one right there in the middle. So we can make sure this guy stays nice and level on my card. There we go. Okay, so we can bring back our card front here. Get my banner stuck on here. And then put my raccoon with the butterflies, oh my goodness, balloons, right like so. And then I'm going to grab the solid gems. So the solid gems look like this. They come in the copper clay, boho blue, and lemon lolly. So I'm just going to use the lemon lolly here. And all I did was I just took one of each size and I put them right down here in this bottom corner, just for a little decorative element. And so just like that, we have our fun fold card. Isn't that so cute, you guys? And it's so fun to make. So you can put really anything here. Let me show you another version of this card. Here's another version. So this is using the Let's Go Fishing Designer Series paper. And so on this one, you've got that wild wheat that has been embossed with the, oh, I don't remember what this is called. It's like a rope looking embossing folder. Same embossing folder that's used here on the white and just blanking on the name of it. But anyways, we've got some fishing designer series paper, and on this one, the fish is just fussy cut from the designer series paper instead of using a vertical strip of designer series paper. So different options, and then on the inside it says happy retirement. So just another way that you can make the same card, still stands up on its side. So same card, just different variations of it. So I can't wait to see your version of this card. You can post it over in the community group on the challenge post so that you can be entered to win the weekly drawing. And I'm going to go over there right now and pick the winner from last week and get that posted as well. So thanks so much for tuning in for Funfold Friday, and I can't wait to see your version of this card. Have a great weekend.